So last Sunday was the Oscars, and I went to a screening in the Upper East Side. It was like a party. It was not really a party, but that was the only under 21 event that I could find. And I went there, and they gave me a ballot. And if you don't know what you're supposed to do in this ballot, you're just supposed to tick everyone you think is going to win. And the first award was actor in supporting role. I think unanimously everyone was happy that Kiwi Kwan won. I, for one, cried. We moved on to actress in the supporting role. I had ticked 2 options. Now, in my heart, I wanted it to be a tie. But I knew that was not going to happen, but I was confident that it was going to be one of the 2 people that were going to win. It was either going to Angela Bassett or it was going to Stephanie Hsu in my mind. And then they announced the winner. I was baffled.
And the Oscar goes to...
Jamie Lee?
That's my lady.
A lot of Oscar pundits were baffled. I was baffled. I never saw this coming. The voters cannot have seen a different performance than we did because Stephanie Hsu was right there. Like Angela Bassett, Kerry Condon, no one. And a man behind me goes, "Whoa, I got one correct." Wait, did you actually predict that Jamie Lee Curtis was going to win? At the end of the night, he got the most categories correct. He got 17, I got 15. So had Jamie Lee Curtis not won, it would have been a tie, which is devastating to think on my side. You know what? This is sort of a rant, but I want to discuss why Jamie Lee Curtis did not deserve the Oscar. I'm going to be very bold and say this. Jamie Lee Curtis has never given an Oscar-worthy performance. It's like a fun performance, a good acting performance, yes. But a nomination is the most that she deserved. And she got it. And I don't know why anyone thought she should have won, but she did. Now, very appropriately, when Jamie Lee Curtis won and everyone was surprised, the conversation moved to Stephanie Hsu, who had a far bigger role in the same movie. She very easily outacted Jamie Lee Curtis. Stephanie's role just demanded so much of her. She had to be so many things. You cannot have watched Everything Everywhere All at Once and thought Jamie Lee Curtis had a better performance than Stephanie Hsu. That single confrontation scene at the very end with Joy and her mother.
Why not go somewhere where your daughter is more than just this?
That was enough. That was enough to do Jamie Lee Curtis, in my opinion. I don't know how she didn't win. Most of our biggest fear was that Stephanie Hsu was not getting nominated because the movie was trying to push Jamie Lee Curtis for Best Supporting over Stephanie Hsu, which is, of course, the reason this entire fiasco happened to come alive. After they both got the nomination, you would think the voters would give both of them equal shot. They would watch the movie, they would think, whoever is the better performer, I would vote for them. They didn't.
Shut up, Georgia. No one likes you.
What did they do? They made a legacy pick. I want to talk about other nominees, but before I talk about other nominees, Michelle Williams, I want to talk about her. She could have very easily gone for Best Supporting Actress, yet she didn't. She went for leading and then that kind of shot her own leg. But had she gone for supporting, I think she would have had a shot at the Oscars. Kerry Condon had a really good performance. She had a bit of momentum there, but her campaign was really not that big. Look at Everything Everywhere. They had this whole campaign about Asian family and representation and, all that. The very center of that movie is the mother-daughter relationship between Michelle Yeoh and Stephanie Hsu's characters. And then they gave the Oscar to Jamie Lee Curtis. My biggest question is that if you were going to give a legacy pick, Angela Bassett is right there. Now, if there is one person to blame for Angela Bassett's loss, it is Disney. Here's my question. At any point in Jamie Lee Curtis's career, where has she outacted Angela Bassett? Because one thing about Angela Bassett, she's going to do her thing.
Angela Bassett did the thing.
Angela Bassett didn't get to do a thing. Jamie Lee Curtis got to be all of us.
I know it looks like I'm standing up here by myself, but I am not. I am hundreds of people.
The Oscars are trying to move forward. They are ready for new things. But don't get it wrong, they're not going to give an Oscar for a superhero role. This video was actually originally supposed to be why Jamie Lee Curtis won her Oscar, but as I started making that video, I realized there was no point in it because I didn't know why she won. I just know that she shouldn't have. And so this is a little rant video I'm making. Surprisingly, the worst thing to come out of this week was not Jamie Lee Curtis's Oscar. It was a Meghan Trainor song. So, you know, I would say it's the worst thing since Thunder by Imagine Dragons, but I'm realizing it's much worse than that. Anyways, that's the little video. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm shooting this on St. Patrick's Day and I'm not wearing any green, but I have a plant by me, so I think that counts.